So I'm in the studio today with Hamish MacLean, editor of the Canmore Leader, and Larissa Barlow's out of town, so we have the very lovely Corrie diManno, who is going to be representing the Canmore, Banff, Craig and Canyon. My bad. Larissa would really freak out if she heard that.
Maybe. Hey, Camara.
Hey, Corrie, nice to have you. So, let's give the newbie a shot first. What do you want to talk about what's going on in Banff right now?
I'm really excited about W.J. Bradley, also known as Wendy Bradley's first solo show at the White Museum. Mm-hmm. She's had pieces shown there before, but this will be her very first solo show. She's a third-generation Banffite. She grew up here. When I talked to her on Sunday, she told me stories about how she used to ride her horse Strawberry all around Banff. And,
cute!
Yeah, and the part that kind of was most inspiring was that she was telling me as a child she would her and her brother would play outside around the White Museum. Her grandfather contributed a lot to the archives then, and she would go downstairs. There was a local artist gallery, and she said that she would wait there until everyone left the room, and she would close her eyes and she'd say, "May I please have my art here one
Aww.
day?" So I thought that was pretty
circle.
neat. Yeah.
And what do you like most about her work? Describe it to some people as they can't see the
so they're
photo.
oil paintings, and she works in plein air, so she'll do her paintings while she's outside, and then she'll take it back to the studio and work on it. So I like a lot of the colors she uses. They're pretty warm. She described going to Lake O'Hara as stepping into a cathedral. She called it like a sanctuary.
Cool.
And so it was really neat just to see her point of view as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Her show opens on Friday. It's called A Sense of Place. So there's going to be paintings of like the hoodoos of Vermilion Lakes, places like that. She didn't want to do iconic scenes, but as she started to pick out the location, she realized these are the places that comprise her home, and then she just realized
That's what she wants to.
Exactly.
Cool. And then what's going on in Canmore?
Canmore's getting ready again to throw a big hoopla. I guess that's what I'm sort of most excited about.
Professionally speaking,
hoopla. So last year they kind of, the BRZ and then the town, they sort of threw a big party for the World Cup just before the Olympics, and in order to sort of really make sure that the event was a community celebration, they dumped a bunch of snow along 2 blocks of Main Street.
Last February?
Yeah, shut the street down and put in some ski tracks, and everybody had a great time, and they're doing it again. This time with the Destination Marketing Fund. They're getting together with the Downtown Business Association, the BRZ, and they're pegging it to the Haywood Ski Nationals, which will bring about 600 athletes to town for a week's worth of racing. But then they'll have, so for Friday, starting March 11, they'll have a bunch of snow and a bunch of activities all downtown. It's kind of cool that they were able, it seemed like it might have been sort of a once-in-a-lifetime kind of experience for Canmore to shut down Main Street and have, dog sledding and ski racing and stuff like that on Main Street. But they're able to do it a second year. And, I've got my fingers crossed that it'll happen again.
Awesome. Yeah, and then that's taking place next Friday?
Yeah, so I think on Friday a lot of schools from town will be down there. So there'll be, I think they're saying that 400 students from Lawrence Grassy Middle School alone, will show up. And the thing that I like about it, too, is, I wish I were a better friend of small businesses, because I'm drawing a blank on the name. I'm very sorry. But there'll be free rentals down there, so anybody can show up. If you don't have the gear, you can go during the public use times, get some skis out, get skiing on Main Street. Just a really kind of a different kind of event for Canmore, and it's really part of their plan. I think the town is to throw fun community celebrations.
It's funny because just today I was talking about that in Vino Novellis event that's going to be taking place in March, and on March 20th. And do you guys remember it last year where they had 8 authors and they were pairing wine with a reading at the wine merchants, Canmore Wine Merchants, paired a wine with a reading, and then don't you guys remember that last year?
I don't, but that sounds fantastic.
It's going to be awesome, and it's just cool. It takes like an interesting community to put on cool events like that, where they shut down Main Street and ski down it with, you know, the whole town and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Or get everyone on a bus, take them up to the Alpine Club, which is what they're going to be doing this year, and then we all get to have some wine and hear 5 authors.
Cool.
Yeah, it's going to be really great.
I'm
We'll
in.
talk about... we're all definitely in. But we'll talk more about that in a bit. We want to talk about one more thing, and that is everybody's favorite Canmore Idol, which is like surprisingly really popular.
It's crazily popular.
For being mimicked after a show that not a lot of people like.
Perhaps. Yeah.
Or
Well,
admit to liking.
exactly. The thing about it that makes it so surprising, its popularity, I think, is the fact that on a Saturday night, you have 80-year-olds sitting next to 18-year-olds, all there sort of to support, you know, just singers or people who want to perform sort of in the community.
And their neighbors.
Yeah. There's there's a lot of friends and family and support, which is awesome. But there's also a lot of people that are just down there to follow the show. It's something that I've now seen. This is my 3rd one. I think, Corrie, you were there, and it was your first?
Correct.
You got a wicked photo on the front page of the Craig, I think.
Canmore Leader.
Canmore Leader.
Yeah.
I didn't know which one I was looking at. What'd you think about as your first Canmore Idol? What'd you think about
it was great. It was fun. It was, I'm not a huge American Idol, Canadian Idol fan, and so I was a little, hesitant to
admit to
I'm sweating.
enjoying it.
But, it was great. Like, there's some really good talent in Canmore, and you could tell everyone had a good time. Audience was really supportive. The judges were very supportive. It seems like,
it's
just
not
a
as
fun way to
vicious.
spend a Saturday.
Yeah, like it's not vicious like American Idol, which I can't handle at all.
Right.
Why I don't watch that show. I don't know if Canadian Idol's like that, but you don't need to be mean to everyone.
Right.
And that's some people's favorite part of the show.
Oh, I know.
Right.
And I know I like
But
that.
the judges are still good, They've got, it's Rick Proctor, Joanne Belvedere, and Joe Irwine. And, I think people... whether or not you know who they are and respect where they're coming from, the kinds of things that they say, they can be fun. But they're clearly there trying to help the people who are performing do a better job if they get the chance the next time. And as much as it's all friendly and fun, I think there is a little bit of sort of who's going to get cut.
Real competition.
You know what I mean? And who's
Yeah.
going to stay in, right? And so they had the biggest crop to start. There was a death in the family, and so there was 30 went to 29 before last Saturday, but they started with 29 performers, which is crazy, right? And they cut it to 20, and then they're going to cut that down to 15 and to 10 and to 5. And it's just something where by the end, the judges know all the performers kind of, and the fans or, and the people in the building know all the performers too. And it's something where people do start to get a bit of a vested interest in who moves on and, and predicting how the scoring will work out and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
And it makes for good sort of photo eye candy. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, that was a cool shot. And as not a very big original fan of American Idol, Corrie, how did you find that this all played out? Like, it was enjoyable to be part of?
For sure, it was fun. You have to really give them props for getting on stage, getting in front of everyone. And, I found myself clapping, and I even ran into a girl who moved on to the next round on Saturday, and I was finding myself giving her advice. I was like, you should sing a Beatles tune.
Nice.
I thought I was a little crazy, so I guess I kind of ended up getting mixed in with the craze.
Why would picking a Beatles tune be crazy? That would be awesome.
Yeah, it gets the it's something audience members are all going to know, can relate to. And they're usually pretty catchy, pretty short.
And it's the Beatles.
And it's the Beatles.
Amazing.
So maybe we'll see if she
takes your advice. Yeah, that's right. It's kind of a more quiet. It's nice. I feel like when it gets really, really, really cold, everybody kind of stays in and not a lot of trouble happens, and then we have less car chases to talk about.
Right, for sure. But I've officially declared winter over. So
Oh, you've decided.
It's spring weather now. It's beautiful outside.
You know
and-
it's the beginning of March.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
February was brutal, and
Yeah,
from
it
March
was
1st
cold.
on, it's just flowers outside.
But I'll take the snow, though. We didn't get any snow last year. This is lovely. I'm not complaining about the snow.
Right on.
It would just be
Yeah.
it'd be nice to be a little warmer, and then we could all do a big day of cross-country skiing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes? Corey, have you ever been cross-country skiing?
No, I haven't.
You're an excellent downhill snowboarder, though.
Falling leaf is I've mastered that technique.
Awesome. Well, looking forward to all the events that are coming up in the next couple weeks, and we'll let everyone know more about Vino Novellis when it comes up a little bit later, because that is going to be really fantastic.
Yeah.
Wine and books and friends and Alpine Club. It's gonna
I've
be good.
paired wine with food before, for sure. Maybe even with music.
But never with a book.
Never with a book.
I'm sure I told you about this before.
There's a good likelihood that you have. I'm sorry, Camara.
It was very, very fantastic. Well, thank you, Corey, for filling in for Larissa on short
Thanks,
notice.
Camara.
Thanks, Hamish, again, and we'll talk next week.
Cool, Camara.